Do you know that 73% of customers agree that a bad restroom experience in a restaurant will impact their willingness to return? Torque Sustainable Hygiene Solutions improve operational efficiency for a better guest experience and better business.
All right. I am Joanna Fantozzi with Nation's Restaurant News. I'm here with Jamie Richardson of White Castle. Thanks for being here.
It is awesome to be here. There's a lot of energy and just happy to be here in 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, we were just talking about this before, but I love the White Castle merch. And I'm guessing that's in reference to the late night.
It is, because something really special happens when the sun goes down. White Castle becomes Night Castle. So I'm wearing my Night Castle. Next year it will be glow in the dark. We're constantly making it better. And it even has a very special slider pocket in the back, so I can keep my three-dimensional coupons ready to rock if it's one whole slider.
I love that. I feel like the Night Castle, all that promotion has been really great for you guys. How has Night Castle been so far?
It's been amazing. I think the fact that we've been open 24 hours since the 1920s helps a lot, and just having the chance to remind people that. And our teams are amazing. So we were certified literally for the fifth year in a row as a great place to work, and that's a 24-hour operation. So it says something about those individuals who are pilots of the airways for that late night crave, and consumers have really responded positively, so we're having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the other things in the news cycle lately is that you just announced the Craver Hall of Fame, this year's inductees, right?
We did. So many are called and few are chosen. We have put the study to this. It's actually easier to get into Harvard than it is the Craver's Hall of Fame.
I love that. Do I need to submit my SAT scores?
No, not anything even that formal. Just a really great story and a lifetime of devotion to satisfying your cravings at the castle. But we just inducted this incredible class. They flew in from all over the country. They entered as strangers. They left as best of friends. And we have a big official induction ceremony with all of our home office team members there. And each of these inductees gets up on stage and shares why they love White Castle and what we've had the chance to mean to them in their lives. So it's really cool.
Could you tell me a little bit about some of the people that were inducted this year?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Michael Newman, a great student. He was at Rutgers, and his parents bought him a Crave case after they'd gone to a concert, and he was on the sustainability curve ahead of the rest of the world because he transformed that Crave case into his college luggage backpack and everything else. He still has it.
That's amazing.
It's got just a hint of onion around it. There's a group from Minneapolis that has the White Castle Derby every year. They've been doing this for 58 years. They're 4 generations strong. They gather together the Saturday before Thanksgiving and crave on some castles, and it was just so much fun to have them all there together.
Yeah, absolutely. And so besides all that, what is new? What's going on with White Castle?
We've got a lot going on. So a big focus on late night, as we were referencing in terms of Night Castle. I think the other thing is around menu. I think all of us right now are trying to make sure we've got hot, tasty, and affordable food. And so we have a theory that a lot of consumers out there are making leftovers last longer. They're a little concerned about what might come next. And our thought is, how can we be there for them? So we just came out with a package deal we haven't done since literally 2012, 6 sliders for $4. And there's nothing like that original classic. And people are really responding in droves. So it's fun to see that.
Yeah, it is amazing. I feel like a lot of brands are really thinking a lot more about value these days because customers' wallets really are shrinking. And so it's really hard to, I guess, get that wallet share when it's kind of shrinking like that.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's always going to be about how great is the food and what was that experience like. And we know that's the base of all Craver physics, as we would call it. But being able to get attention is important too. And so we got that. We got 12 chicken rings for $3.99, and you can get them with cheddar blast too, which is a brand new flavor. So we found that our Gen Z consumers really love variety, and they love to lean into that. So that keeps it popping for us, and keeps the drive-thrus busy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like there is one strategy that a lot of operators are taking, which is kind of the deals and promotions as people are kind of, like they're not spending as much on restaurants. But the other way of getting people's attention is through menu innovation. So how are you guys thinking about menu innovation this year?
Similarly to how we're thinking about value, asking great questions of our consumers, listening and telling to what they tell us, and then responding to that. And so for us, our kitchens are pretty simple. We're really, really, really great at making sliders and tasty sides and all kinds of other sandwiches. So our menu innovation has looked at our core platforms in terms of how do we find things that give it just a little bit of a twist, just a little bit of a smile. And so that's been a big part of the fun. And I'm going to break news right now and share that we are going to introduce a brand new, crispier and bigger chicken sandwich.
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
wait. Now
It's
I'm mad that I don't have my notebook with me. Tell me about this.
Coming soon to a castle near you on June 16th. We're going to have a new chicken sandwich, and it's tastier, cravier, crispier, and we think it's time. So we know that 100% beef slider is the center of plate for a lot of our consumers because we have a really cool, we think it's our secret superpower. The size of our sandwiches, the size of our sides are smaller. So our sides are nibblers. You can share them. You can have one for yourself or whatever it might be. Same with the sandwiches. So being able to get 2 cheese sliders with 2 chicken sandwiches is a perfect way to complement your lunch or dinner.
Now, you guys have had chicken sandwiches before?
We have, yeah.
Okay, so how's this one different?
This one's, we've done scientific testing to show that it's crispier, and we think that's an improvement. It's got a buttermilk coating, and here's truly, all cliches intended, the secret sauce, honeycomb mustard. And we did extensive testing.
What's honeycomb mustard?
It is delicious. It is all the best that you can imagine when you think of those words together. So it's got this more than a hint of honey and the deliciousness of the mustard flavor coming through. And so we drizzle that all over the sandwich, and it's on our bakery fresh bun that we make in our own bakeries, and it's out of this world. So we're super excited about it and eager to have it out in the restaurants really soon.
I'm a really big honey mustard fan on chicken in general, like crispy chicken. I feel like a lot of chicken sandwiches lean into aioli. So it's interesting that you kind of like pivoted in that different direction.
Yeah, we think, and we went all different directions too as we were exploring what do consumers want next. And overwhelmingly, they told us this honeycomb mustard is a hit. And so we played that up and the communication, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. And so it's got all the great flavors you'd expect from the Craver Castle, and coming soon to a castle near you.
Oh, very exciting. Are there any toppings to it, like any pickles or onions or anything?
You can get lettuce and tomato if you like. That's the deluxe. So we have options. So, but we think that's going to be part of the fun too. So,
yeah.
So we're expecting a lot of people to give it a try and come on back for more.
Restart those chicken sandwich wars, though, of a few years ago.
Well, we are small and mighty, so but yeah, we can keep it going, and we think it's time to get out there with a new chicken sandwich, and we'll still have our chicken ring sandwich, which is delicious as well. So there's something about the combination of when you can hit it with a zest of jalapeno cheese on it, or go for smoky cheddar or whatever it might be. So we believe that keeping it small is great. Giving people the chance to customize and have some variety built into the menu is really important as well.
Yeah. Well, so you say that the White Castle superpower is the kind of like being small and nimble in terms of the menu size, or rather the menu item size. But I also feel like it's the brand itself, because
Thank you.
Because I feel like you kind of come across still as that like scrappy younger brand, even though you're the oldest fast food chain in America. How do you kind of like keep that cross between a legacy brand and a classic brand versus kind of that still exciting and emerging?
I think we're really fortunate. We're still family owned after 104 years, and our leader, our slider queen, and that's the title she prefers versus CEO.
Yes.
And if we call her CEO, she says call her Craving Excellence Optimizer. So I think it's about being real and being connected and not taking ourselves too seriously, and being willing to learn as we go along. We have, and this is no knock against our competitors because we have great respect for them. We don't have the same constraints that Wall Street analyzed firm does. We can make decisions that might pay out in 14 months or 8 months. We don't have to worry about period financial close in that regard and what the analysts might say. So, and I think hopefully a hint of irreverence, not thinking, at the end of the day, we get to sell 200 square sliders that people love and enjoy and have a crave quotient for. So that part of keeping it fun, and people who care and love the business and work together really nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great that you mentioned because when Lisa Ingram was on our power list. I believe it was last year.
Yes, that's right.
She referred to herself as Slider Queen, and we had that in the text.
She has different shirts for each day of the week that say Slider Queen. So that's that's the best merch going. So, but those are limited editions. You can't get those on our merch site, the House of Crave.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And it really has become kind of this cult classic brand, which is interesting because I feel like that's hard to do. There are a few quick service brands out there that kind of created this cult status. And so I feel like that happens. It has to happen naturally. You can't be like, how do you do that? But I guess, how do you think White Castle has kind of achieved that cult classic status?
I think we're really fortunate. I think constancy of purpose. I think having a heart for hospitality. And candidly, I think opening ourselves up to be a part of people's memories versus just a caloric provider. We go beyond utility. Our vision is feed the souls of Craver generations everywhere. And we live by it. Our mission is to create memorable moments every day. Our general managers, on average, each has been with White Castle 21 years. So he or she, they have the keys of the castle. And yeah, we're all company-owned operation. We don't have franchises. But their passion, their devotion as individuals shapes the tone for all of their team members. And they get to bring it to life for their communities. So that part of it to us has been a really powerful part of, and how you become a cult or not, I don't think you can put that on a strategy map and just say, oh, next week we'll be a cult brand. I think it's something that we just stumbled into, and we're fortunate, and we want to keep nourishing it.
Yeah, it definitely does have to do something with creating those kind of core memories, I think, also because I grew up on Long Island in the 90s, and I feel like White Castle was just like a big part of the culture. And it was just, you would it was an exciting day of the week or month or whatever when mom would be like, oh, that's your treat is White Castle burgers, and sometimes it would come from White Castle, sometimes it would come from the freezer aisle,
right?
But it was always just kind of like a fun, oh yay, treat, and it was like a big part of my childhood.
And I'm glad you mentioned the freezer aisle, because that part of our business continues to grow, and we really believe our focus is on how do we provide restaurant quality at home. And so whether you crave the convenience of the late night drive-through at 3 a.m. or just want to wander down to your kitchen and pop some in the microwave, we've got you covered, and that's part of the fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, great. I think that's a good note to end on. Thanks so much, Jamie.
You bet. Crave on, my
awesome.
friend. Always good to see you.
Do you know that 73% of customers agree that a bad restroom experience in a restaurant will impact their willingness to return? Torque Sustainable Hygiene Solutions improve operational efficiency for a better guest experience and better business.